although they share the same namesake, I can honestly tell you that Christopher Columbus did not discover this town. But we're going to discover what's left of this place. So, welcome back to Beers and Frontiers, and we are headed to Columbus, Nevada. Structures we're going to come across in Columbus. Now, no relation to Columbus, Ohio either. I am pretty certain they didn't have a football team. Well, if they did, it wasn't as good as the Buckeyes, that's for sure. This looks like it might have been a well of some sort. All right, let's get a closer look at this. They got it cordoned off so you can't fall down it, apparently. Let's just see what they got there. Yeah, it looks like the... Let's see here. You can see there, I think there's a floor on that. And this may be some sort of structure. I'll tell you, I know it. The town came into fruition in 1863, and it was discovered by Spanish miners, or I think Mexican miners. And around 1871, the town really got flourishing. And I think borax was the thing that they actually had discovered near the town site, which kind of made it an important place, and people came flocking here. I know Columbus probably at its apex, I think it was 1875, had about 1,000 people living here. All right, we're gonna head further down the road and see what else is left of Columbus. Arrived at, I guess, the township area of Columbus. We were on the outskirts when we showed you that well, and we're showing you what's kind of left here. But just to tell you more about it, I guess you know, I was saying how 1875 it was about 1,000 people living here. Between, I think, not too long after that, it dwindled down to about 100 people. So, but the borax plant was pumping night and day, and they were working hard. And they had a school here. They had newspapers, saloons. I mean, lots of people lived here. This place was definitely of importance. What are we looking at over there, Anna?
A well.
Oh yeah. Okay. We'll have to check out what else is left here. So I mean, through the mid-1880s, this town was pumping, but then it started to decline. And actually, believe it or not, up until 2009 is when the last residents left here. There's a guy by the name of Ray. Ray. He did not like other people. From what I understand, he was a recluse, and he just enjoyed the life out here on his own. He loved Columbus. I can understand what Ray's talking about, man, because sometimes you just want to get away from people. I love it out here when we're just me and Anna. There's not a lot of folks left out here, and we're out on our own. This place is cool. So, but I can feel what Ray was thinking. Get away from people. Now you can see out there in the distance there, that's where the modern mine is. They have a mining operation going out here in Columbus, but no one lives here, you know, like previous mining towns I've shown you where they still kind of operate the mines, but there's no reason for people to live there because there are other towns that are close by, you know, even an hour's drive. You'd rather live in a town an hour away with a grocery store and a bar and a saloon and a doctor than living out here all by yourself, you know, with no amenities, unless your name's Ray. So let me ask you, do you think you could be like Ray? Live as a recluse, live out here in the middle of nowhere, you know, with no one around, peace and tranquility, just you and the desert, the sounds of the desert? I don't know. It sounds romantic. I'd probably get bored. Now this may have been the main drag of Columbus, because I can see where there were structures at one point. Now they're just ruins, you know. And then on both sides here, say there, you can see some ruins there. Yeah, not much is left. But you know, it's an easy place to get to. And this is not too far from the ghost town of Candelaria. I think it took us about a half hour from Candelaria to get to here. You can either go through the mountains or you can go around. Either way is easy. So let's check out this glass structure here in Columbus, Nevada. Just think 1,000 people lived here at one point. Working every day, working the borax mines. You know, living in, some of those folks lived in this structure. They lived in these homes along this way here that are now gone. We're back out there, just kind of overlooking the plains, the dry lake. It's harsh conditions for those folks though. You know, hot summers, cold winters, but they managed. I mean, they didn't have the life that we have. You know, our AC goes out for a half hour, we are dying. I don't know how these folks made it out, living out here. I mean, it's only like 90 degrees today, and I'm starting to cook a little bit. All right. Yeah, so you got the dry lake out there over the plains, and then you got the mountains in the back there. Maybe the Sierra Nevadas, I believe. Some snow still up on those bad boys. And then the hills in which to do the mining in. All right, let's, there's another structure way out there. Let's get a kind of close look at that. Stick around, we're not done. And I had mentioned Ray, and he left in 2009, and the reason why he left in 2009 is I understand he died. So that was it, the last living residents of Columbus, Nevada. And it is now a full-fledged ghost town. Even with him living here, it was still a ghost town. I mean, one person doesn't really make a town. It's just some dude living away from everywhere else. If you heard that, that was Anna yelling, probably a scorpion, tried to get her, or a bug or something. Looks like it was a storefront of some sort and just kind of collapsed over time. And believe it or not, you know, it's funny because they got this metal on top of wood, but what happens is the wood over time just collapses, deteriorates. May have been a general store. Let's look out here. All right. Talk and walk. One less, another collapsed structure in the background here. So now, getting here wasn't hard. I mean, it's off of Highway 95. I think we drove 7 miles down this dirt road. Wasn't too bad. A few corrugations. So, all right, I think that's all I got for you to show you out here in Columbus. If you want to come out here, it's not too hard to get to, and it's worth your while. But until next time, cheers from Beers and Frontiers.